Okay, good. So we're going to start standing today, and we'll start as usual by moving the joints. It's nice after a whole day at work, and also it's nice to start the day after a whole night in bed. So you can have your feet hip width apart as usual, toes pointing forward. Just take a little bit of time to feel your feet in contact with the mat. You can even lift your toes a bit and then bring your toes down and press a little bit your big toes, just for the fun of it. Can you do that? Can you press your big toes on the mat? And then ground your feet. Imagine that you're standing on your feet as when you try to stand on your hands. You really push your feet to the mat, and from there you engage with your thigh muscles and your back. Lengthen your spine, roll your shoulders back and down. And if you want to, you can close your eyes just for some breaths, so we can kind of land. So feel your feet on the mat, and from there move your attention upwards through your legs and the rest of your body. Take the time you need to give a bit of attention to your whole body, and maybe especially the parts of your body that are talking a little bit louder to you. Maybe you have some stiff muscles or tired muscles or joints. And just notice, imagine that you give attention and then you move your attention further upward. Don't forget your hands and your fingers, your arms, and don't forget your face, all the way to the top of your head. And then we start establishing a smoother, deeper rhythm of the breath that we can keep throughout the practice. So on your next exhale, exhale completely. And then inhale slowly, deeply, smoothly. And again, exhale completely. So if it's part of your practice to breathe through the back of your throat and you find it pleasant, you can do that. It's a nice breath because you can hear it, so it's soothing, it's relaxing. Make sure that you find the right balance between breathing deeply but not straining yourself. So at each exhale, you should be able to relax a little bit more. A couple of more breaths here like this. Feel how you ground your feet and you grow a little bit taller on your inhale. And you allow your body to relax on your exhale. Last one. And exhale. And we'll start with the neck as usual. You can keep your eyes closed if you want to. On your inhale, bring your chin up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, down towards your chest. And again, inhale. And exhale. So keep lengthening your spine. Your shoulders are relaxed. Feet are grounded. And your breath is smooth. We'll do one more of this. And when you're done, bring your head back to center. And when you're ready, you can tilt your head from side to side. So tilt to the left on the inhale and to the right on the exhale. Imagine that your hands are a little bit heavier than they used to be. So you drop your shoulders a little bit further down and you feel maybe the stretch on the side of your neck. But try not to overdo it, of course. And just remember to keep breathing. Inhale on the left, exhale on the right. And do one more repetition like this. Bring your head back to center. Now turn your head from side to side. So inhale, turn to the left, and exhale, turn to the right. And try to not overdo it. So feel where you feel a nice stretch of the side of your neck, but without feeling any pain, of course. And 2 more rounds like this. Last one. And finish your exhale. Come back to center. Open your stance a little bit more. Bend your knees. And interlace your fingers. Your index fingers pointing forward. Inhale, bring your arms up and look towards your arms. Bend your knees. And on your exhale, just drop your upper body and let your upper body hang. And on your inhale, come up again, arms above your head. And exhale, relax your upper body. So in order to protect your lower back, it's important that you bend your knees and that you move at the pace that you find is safe for your back. So be mindful. Really let go on the exhale. You can stay a little bit down at the end of your exhale if you find that comfortable. And you come up on your inhale. If you want to, you can exhale through your mouth and really let go of all tension, all busyness, all tiredness, anything that has been accumulating in your body throughout the day that you don't want anymore. One more round. And on your exhale, allow yourself to stay here. So make sure that your toes are pointing forward. Engage a bit your thigh muscles and point your sitting bones up. And let your torso hang here. You can move a bit your head from side to side, back and forth to relax with the muscles on your shoulders and your neck. Let your hands hang. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And slowly start rolling up. So let your arms and head hang. Keep your knees bent. Engage a bit your belly muscles to protect your lower back. And slowly, slowly roll up. The last thing to come up is the head. Good. I'm going to do another slightly dynamic movement. So we're going to turn from side to side. So when you turn to the right, you put your left hand on your right shoulder and your right hand behind your back. And then you change to the other side. So you breathe in and breathe out when you twist. You breathe in and breathe out when you twist. And if you feel like it, you can do it a little bit bigger. And you start lifting your heel up. So come to the toes of the opposite leg from the side that you're twisting. And gather a little bit of momentum. Kind of loosen out a bit. Even though you're using your arms, let them fly a bit. And feel the twist, but again, a bit mindful because we're still not completely warm. I'll do a couple more on each side. One more. And come back to center. Good. Hands to your waist. Stick your tailbone out, inhale, and exhale, bring your tailbone in. And again, inhale out, and exhale in. Inhale, and exhale. So you can squeeze a bit your glutes when you bring your tailbone forward. Try to relax your jaw and your forehead. Maybe two more. Last one. And now we make circles. So tailbone out, hip around, hip forward. And again, so you decide how big or how small you want to make your circle, but try to keep your shoulders steady. So it's just the hips moving. Remember, you can make it a bit more mechanical. So hip back to the side, forward to the side. It's very challenging. It's just a matter of getting used to the movement. And last one, exhale and reverse the movement. So make circles the other direction. Just for the last few circles here, bring your attention back to your feet. What's going on with the feet? Two more like this. Last one. And come back to center. Bring your feet closer again, hip width apart. Interlace your fingers and push your hands out. Inhale, bring your arms above your head. And at the end of your inhale, come to your tippy toes. Hold a little bit your breath. And exhale, bring your heels down and the back of your hands to your head. Inhale, extend, lengthen, come to your tippy toes. And exhale down. Try to come down controlled. Again, inhale first, lengthen, push your palms up, and then come up to your toes. And slowly down. Do two more. Lengthen, open your chest, come up to your toes. And down. And last one. Inhale up. Try to relax your face. And down. And relax your arms. Last joint mobilization of today. Hands to your hip, or you can hold your arms behind you and make circles with your knee. If you want to hold yourself on a wall or a chair, you can do that. And remember to follow your breath. Two more. Last one. And reverse the movement. Try to think again of your foot, your left foot. Press your left foot on the mat. From there, you grow tall, strong, steady. And two more. And bring your foot down and change sides. So left knee up and start making circles. So on Saturday, I was so excited that it was snowing, so I decided to go out for a skiing trip, one more on my own, and the other direction. But the tracks weren't prepared and the snow was quite heavy and my skis weren't gliding much, but that was okay. I was happy I was out and I really like it when it's snowing heavily. Last one. And relax. Good. Now we're going to start a bit of strengthening movements, mainly for the legs and the back, before we do some hip openers. So we've done these movements before. You need to bend your knees a little bit. I'm going to face like this so you can see my back. Bend your knees a bit, hands to your waist. Open your chest, and on your inhale with a straight back, leading with your chest, fold halfway forward and come up on your exhale. Inhale down, exhale up, and focus on the back of your legs. You squeeze a little bit your glutes on the way up. you most probably will feel it also on your lower back and a bit on your belly, and that's good too, as long as it's not pain, of course. So you stick your bum out on the way down and in a little bit on your way up. And we do 5 more. 5, 4, 3. Conscious movement. Think about the muscles that you're using. And last one. And up. Now we're going to do dynamic Utkatasana. So on your inhale, sit on your imaginary chair. You can have your arms parallel to the floor. And exhale up. And again, inhale and exhale. So I had already skied for maybe 45 minutes, maybe a little bit more. And I thought, oh, I'm going to have like a long trip, an hour and a half. And I was a bit lost. But I mean, Bimarka is not that big. So I thought I'll find my way back. And then on the first downhill, I lost my balance. And it was going super slowly because the snow was sticking on my skis, under my skis. And I fell. Not really bad, actually quite innocent fall. And 3 more. And of course I hurt my back. And I was very scared because I was like, okay, how am I gonna get out of here? Last one. Exhale and up. We're gonna do again the fall. We're gonna do 3 repetitions of each one. So catch your breath, hands in your waist, bend your knees. And now you have an option. If you want to, you can do the same we did the first movement. Otherwise, you can move a little bit slower on the way down. You can count to 3 in your head, and then you kind of bounce up. And slowly, slowly down, and bounce up. And again, conscious movements. Maybe it doesn't help that I'm telling you my story while you're trying to focus on your muscles, but maybe it helps if it's a bit tiring to be distracted. I don't know, it can go both ways. But anyhow, long story short, I hurt my back. I had to take my skis off and I had to walk my way back to the car. And I found my way back to the car and it was okay. And this back pain is something that happens maybe once a year or maybe twice a year. And that made me think that I need to be careful with my back. I mean, I try to remember with my asana practice 2 more. The cool part is it took just maybe 2 days. And then my back was quite better. Last one. And stand up. And now Utkatasana. So inhale down and exhale up. And the reason why I'm telling you this story is because we can maybe when you have injuries from before, it's maybe difficult to not get hurt at some point, even though you are careful, even though I do yoga. But the beautiful part is that thanks to the yoga practice, I think my back got better faster. So it was a good reminder that, okay, yeah, I hurt my back, but I can be patient and we'll go over again. And we do 3 more. And also my point here is that the movements that we're doing today are very good to keep a healthy back. And last one. Good. Because strengthening the glutes and the legs and the core muscles is very important to keep the back healthy. Also the back, but also flexibility. So that's what we're focusing on today. Okay, last round. Bend your knees, and now you can do it a little bit tougher for you. You can interlace your fingers behind your head, but don't push. It just gives a little bit of weight, but don't push your hands to your head. And do the exact same movement. So down and up. Maybe you can feel that it's a bit heavier on the back, but it shouldn't, of course, be painful. It should just be challenging, that you feel that you're using the muscles. And up. And we do 6 more. Remember to breathe. So inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. And 4 more. Keep your chest open, your back straight. 2 more. And last one. And release. Last Utkatasana. Inhale, sit down. And exhale, come up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Remember, squeeze your glutes at the end of the movement when you come up. Push your hip back on the way down. So you're using your legs and not your knees. Down. And try to keep your back straight. And we'll do 5 more. 4. 3. 2. And last one. And relax. Good. Okay. Now we're going to work a bit with the belly, and then we'll do our hip openers. So come to the top of your mat again, just to move yoga-wise. Have your feet hip width apart. And lengthen your spine, bring your arms above your head, inhale. Bend your knees and fold forward. Inhale, look up. Bring your palms to the mat and exhale, come into a plank. So you can decide if you want to be in a full plank or if you want to have your knees down. So just listen to your body. And really there's not, of course there's a difference, but you can really use your belly muscles quite well if you do a plank like this, just focusing on engaging your belly muscles and just breathing into it. So it's not always best to come to the full plank, especially not if you're tired in your shoulders and your arms. Take a couple of full breaths here. Press your heels back, lift your knees up. And we're going into a side plank. So bring your left hand to the center in front of you. Roll to the right and come to a side plank. So you can have your arm up or on waist. And if this is super duper challenging, you can bring your upper foot to the floor in front of you. And again, focus on the side of your, on your waist, right? So lift a little bit your hip, engage your belly muscles, open your chest in whatever variation you chose. 2 more full breaths. Relax your jaw. Slowly bring your right hand down and roll to the left. And do the same variation you did on the opposite side. So find your pose, find your breath, find your strength. Try to find the ease in the pose using your breath. Last full breath here. Slowly bring your hand down, come to your knees, and go into child's pose for some breaths before we do another repetition. So try to relax completely in child's pose. Come to your, see if you manage to bring your forehead to the mat. If not, you can use a block. And you can either have your arms extended in front of you or your arms alongside your torso, whatever feels best. A couple of full breaths, a couple of 2 breaths. And bring your hands forward again. And prepare for plank number 2. So same as before, or maybe different if you want to do a variation, either on your knees or Legs up. Take deep breaths. Press the base of your fingers to the mat. Lengthen your arms. Lift your chest. Try not to fall here. That's going to be very painful for your shoulders. A couple of full breaths here. And bring your left hand to just in front of your head, face. Roll to the right. And side plank here. If you want to have your arm up, you can. You can have it on your waist. Just remember to open your chest and push your hip a little bit up. Breathe. Two more full breaths. And change sides slowly. Bring your right hand down and roll to the left. And bring your left hand up or to your waist. Breathe. Remember the hand that is on the mat is well grounded. Push the whole hand. Open your fingers apart from each other. Two more full breaths. And slowly back to plank. And here, two choices. Maybe I give you too many choices today. You can go into child's pose or downward dog. So choose out of how your wrists feel. If your wrists are hurting, maybe it's better to go into child's pose. But if you're in for a nice stretch of your back body, then go into downward dog. And two full breaths here. Try to relax your face, your neck. And last plank of the evening, you have the choice to come to your elbows if you want to. It's a slightly different plank. Interlace your fingers and press your forearms into the mat. Here too, you can come to your knees if you prefer. Breathe. And slowly let go of your hands and roll towards the right. If you don't like to be on your elbows, you can do the plank with your hands on the mat and your arms extended. Some people experience that it's too heavy on the shoulders, so follow your body. Two more full breaths. And slowly change sides. Slowly. Conscious movements, slow movements. Find the variation that is good for you right now and breathe into it. One more full breath. Back to center. Interlace your fingers again and go into dolphin's pose. So lift your hips up and start walking your feet towards your elbows and stay where it feels okay. And gently press your heels down even though they don't touch the mat. And try to bring your shoulders at the same level as your elbows. If this is not the pose for you, you can choose again child's pose or downward dog. Last full breath here. And slowly come to your knees. And bring your torso up. If you have blocks at home, have them close to you. You can also do without the blocks. We're going to do a couple of lunges to start opening the hips. So bring your right leg forward and grab your blocks. I like to have them at the highest level. And just tuck your left toes and bring your left leg a little bit further back to a level where you feel the stretch on the front of your left leg. Hands to your blocks. Push your hands to the block, lengthen your arms and open your chest. So roll your shoulders back and down and stay here. So ground well your right foot. And again, breathe into the pose. Try to relax your face. Relax your shoulders. And to your breath. 2 more full breaths here. Slowly bring your torso slightly forward, let go of the blocks. And you can stack the blocks on top of each other on the inside of your right foot. And if it's okay, you can bring your elbows to the blocks. So you decide how tall you want them to be. You can bring it also to a taller level here. Just make sure that your right knee is in contact with your right shoulder. And try to relax here. If it's too heavy, if it's painful, it shouldn't be painful, you can be on your hands. So listen to your body. Might be that after some breaths, you can go a little bit deeper and you can do that, but listen to your body. Here you can choose if you want to look forward or if you want to let your head hang. 2 more full breaths here. And if you're on your shoulders, come back to your hands. Fingertips on each side of your leg. And bring your right leg back. And left leg forward. So we'll do the same on the left side. So tuck your right toes and bring your right knee a little bit further back. And bring your blocks to each side of your foot, more or less under your shoulders. Press your hands in the block. Lengthen your arms and open your chest. And stay there. I'm just going to open the door to the cat. She always wants to go out when I'm doing yoga. So again, what we're aiming for is opening in front of your body, but in a gentle way. So listen to your body. Maybe it's enough to be here. Maybe you don't need to go very far up, but if you manage, and if it's comfortable, you can be there. But remember, relax your shoulders, relax your face. And take a couple of more deep breaths here. Slowly bring your blocks to the inside of your left foot, to the level that is appropriate for you. And it might be that you're tighter on this side or more flexible. You can start maybe with your arms extended. And once you feel that you're comfortable, you can come to your elbows. And again, try to keep your knee close to your shoulder. And relax, breathe. So according to the Yin tradition, we accumulate a lot of emotion on our hips. So some people experience emotional reactions on this kind of poses. If you feel it, if you feel like something is coming up, just go with it. Like, don't try to analyze it, don't try to resist it, just observe and let it happen, whatever happens. 3 more full breaths. So my yoga teacher told us once, I think it was in our yoga teacher training, that a person threw a block at him on this pose. So that person was experiencing frustration and anger. But I've seen people cry doing this pose. And I've seen people who doesn't experience anything. So whatever comes or doesn't come, just be with it. And slowly come up again. Bring your left leg back. Take your blocks away. Hands to the front. And come and lie down on your belly. So bring your hands in front of your chest or right under your chest. Roll your shoulders back and away from your ears. Elbows pointing backwards and in towards your torso. And when you're ready on your inhale, come up into a cobra, mini cobra. You're using your back muscles to lift yourself up. Press your pelvis to the floor. Lift your belly a little bit up. If you want to, you can engage with your glutes and just be with the breath. Two more full breaths here. Slowly release, turn your head towards one side and bring your arms alongside your torso and really let go here. Allow the weight of the back of your body sink down towards the front of your body. Take a couple of deep breaths. You can exhale through your mouth if you feel like it. And then bring your forehead back to the mat. Hands under your chest. Lift your torso and bring your forearms to the mat. So we're doing the Sphinx. It's a bit less of a strengthening and more of a stretching pose. So here you decide how close you want to have your elbows to your chest. Maybe you want them a bit further back, but try to roll your shoulders back. Open your chest and relax your shoulders so you're not here because it's going to be straining. And just breathe into it. Again, press your pelvis down towards the mat. This time, try to relax your legs. Don't engage your glutes. Two more full breaths here. Slowly lie down again on your belly and you can roll your head towards the other side and arms alongside your torso for 3 deep breaths here. And slowly come back again to Sphinx. So we'll do the Sphinx again with a little variation. So first find your arms, press your palms down, open your shoulders, open your chest, sorry. And then what you can do is you can bring your legs, your feet up. So you imagine that you want to bring your feet a bit closer towards your bum. You might or might not feel that that stretches the front of the hip and the thighs. If you don't feel the stretch, doesn't matter, just stay there. And again, breathe into it. So going back to my little story of the back pain, as I said, the back pain is an old injury. I injured my back when Suzanne was a baby, and it comes and goes once a year maybe. But thanks to my asana practice, I think the pain goes away a bit faster, and I know what to do when I have the pain, like I need to stretch a bit certain muscles and not use other muscles, not do certain yoga poses. 2 more full breaths here. And bring your feet down, and again, lie down on your belly, turn your head to one side and relax for 3 full breaths. And it made me think about this whole yoga practice, the holistic approach to it. How we work with ourselves, we get to know ourselves better, our triggers, our weaknesses, and we feel that we maybe get a little bit better at tackling everyday life as we know our weaknesses and work with them. Now bring your forehead forward, and here you have 2 choices. You can go back to the Sphinx with the legs up, or you can try to do the bow. So to do the bow, we start with the forehead down and bring your feet up towards your glutes and grab your ankles. If you manage, if you cannot reach your ankles, you can have a belt and hold the belt. Flex your feet and slowly lift your head and your chest up and lift your thighs up. So you imagine that your feet are trying to escape from your hands, and your hands are trying to not let the feet escape. And that's what keeps the pose in place. But if this is training for your lower back, or you cannot reach your hands, your legs, you can come to the same Sphinx and just breathe into it. So whatever you choose, find the pose and stay on it. So open your chest, roll your shoulders back, breathe. One more full breath here. And release. And last relaxation here before we move forward to the next pose. So really let go. Full exhale through the mouth. 2 more. And bring your forehead to the mat again. Hands in front of your chest, tuck your toes. Push yourself back through the knees and go into a downward dog. And on your next inhale, we're going to try the pigeon's pose. Bring your right knee forward. And bring your left leg back, 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 back. If pigeon's pose is not your pose, this is a variation for you here. So try whatever is best for you. Pigeon's pose is a very nice pose, but you want to have your hips square. That means that your hips are not tilting to one side. One thing you can do is to put a block under your right glute. That gives you a little bit of space to have your back leg. If you are not very flexible, it might be very good to have your knee pointing towards the right corner of your mat. If you're a bit more flexible, you can have your leg parallel with the front of the mat here. So find your pose. A couple of more breaths here. And if it's okay with you, you can fold forward. You can bring the block along or two. And try to relax your upper body in the pose. Breathe. So back to my reflection. You try to work with your weaknesses. You try to be more at peace with what happens. You try to control your triggers so you don't go into a reactive modus when you go around in life. And that's great, but you must have experience that sometimes you go back to square zero, right? That you react in a way that you know that doesn't help you and that you've been working with it. And it made me think about my back pain. So I think it's the same. It's old patterns, old maybe bad habits, or even kind of emotional injuries that we have. And it takes a long time and practice to come out of them. So just like with the back pain, you just need to acknowledge that it happened, breathe into it, keep working with yourself. Maybe next time it won't happen again, or it will happen as strong as it did the last time. Slowly come up, your hands to the mat, and go back to downward dog. Or child's pose, whatever you prefer. And on your next inhale, bring your left knee forward. So we do pigeon's pose on this side, whatever variation you chose for the right side, or maybe you need to have another variation on this side. First with the torso up, so try to roll your shoulders back and away from your ears. Again, remember you have the choice to be here. If pigeon's pose is not for you, it's more of a glute stretch than a hip opener, but it's still a good pose, a good alternative. And on your next exhale, fold forward. So again, if you need to have a mat or two, a block, or a pillow, or a bolster, whatever makes it more comfortable, and breathe. And two more full breaths here. Slowly come up. And last downward dog of the evening, or child's pose if you prefer. And slowly come down to your knees and lie down on your back. So very last three poses before final relaxation. So lie down on your back, knees bent, feet close to your bum, arms alongside your torso. Feel your whole back in contact with the mat. Ground yourself, ground your feet. And on your next inhale, press your heels to the mat and lift your hips up into a bridge. Interlace your fingers under your bum, press your forearms on the mat and roll your shoulders in and go into a full bridge. Breathe. Press your feet to the mat, your knees are pointing forward. Engage your glutes. 3 more full breaths. And slowly bring your hips down. Allow your whole back to ground and then bring your knees up and go into a happy baby. So you can grab your big toes or grab the outside of your feet. You can also grab the back of your thighs, whatever works for you. The sole of your feet are pointing up towards the ceiling and your knees are pointing down, or your thighs are pointing down towards the floor. Breathe. So if possible, try to keep your whole back on the mat. Tuck your chin a little bit in. One more full breaths here. Let go of your feet if you're folding your feet. Extend your left leg on the mat. And bring your right knee towards the left on a supine twist. You can look towards the right if you want to. Breathe. Slowly come back to center and extend your right leg. Lift your left knee and twist to the left. If you want to turn your head towards the right, you can do that. Two more full breaths. And come back to center and find your way into Shavasana. So do the variation that works for you. My telephone is complaining of low battery, so I hope it won't switch off. But if it does, try to finish the practice on your own. But I'll try to do a guided relaxation. So once you have found your version of Shavasana for tonight, take a couple of deep breaths by inhaling through your mouth. Through your nose, sorry, and exhaling through your mouth. And again, a long, long inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Just let your breath go back to its natural rhythm. Bring your attention to the back of your body. Take a quick, not quick actually, a slow scan of your body. Feel the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor. And start by your feet. And from there, move your attention upward through your legs. So really just focus on the parts that are in contact with the mat. Feel that body part pressing down or sinking down. And once you've noticed one body part, you move your attention to the next one. And the next one. And if you notice that you're straining any muscle, let go of the tension. All the way to the back of your head. Now bring your attention to your face and relax your face. And the front of your neck. And relax your fingers, the palm of your hands and the front of your arms. Relax your chest, your belly, your thighs, your shins, and the top of your feet. Relax your toes. Relax your whole body. If you notice your mind wandering about, starting to plan what's coming next, or analyzing what happened before, gently bring your mind back to the here and now. Feel your body relax. Notice your breath. Enjoy the opportunity to just be for a couple of more minutes. Keep bringing your attention back to your body. And your next inhale, roll towards your right side and stay there for some breaths. Slow movements. You can keep your eyes closed. Feel the weight of your body on the side. Slowly push yourself up to seated. And if it's okay, keep your eyes closed. Your palms together, thumbs to the heart. Just a last part of my long story throughout the practice today. It's very good that we work with ourselves, that we try to become a better version of ourselves day after day. And have whatever motivation for it. It might be to cultivate a peaceful state of mind. It can also be because we want to be kinder to those around us. But remember that it takes practice, it takes patience. Most importantly, it takes self-compassion. So remember to be nice to yourself, to be kind to yourself, especially when you do things that you don't like to do, or that you don't like yourself when you do them. Forgive yourself. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And again, inhale. Exhale. And last one. Exhale. And namaste. Let's stop the recording. There.